These, you put as much as you want in there, but normally I put a quarter teaspoon.
Okay.
And for a 16 ounce, I'll put a heaping quarter teaspoon.
Okay.
You know, I just kind of clean them up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you'll make another one as long as it's on the end of the stick.
If I could get my one out of the ground.
Yeah. Probably got one in your tool chest.
Yeah.
So he just cleans off the little red places.
And then I try to cut them the same,
With the knife.
same size as the jar, right up to there.
Okay.
And,
He cuts off the little red butts.
Oh yeah.
and if you see any little scales, I mean, they'll cook up, but I scrape those off.
So the big chunk first.
Mm-hmm. And the secret to planting the jars is there's always a little bit of discoloration, a little bit. You don't have to cut all that off, it'll cook up. But the main thing is to hide it.
Oh yeah.
So it's in the middle of the jar, and then you put a good piece of meat like that, push this inside.
Yeah.
So it looks like a nice pack. And it's a lot of squishing and
So you cram it full.
yeah, you cram it full. Okay, push your hand down there a couple times to get the air out. And ideally you want it right up to there.
Okay.
No higher.
I remember there being a thing about the fat. You just put a little.
Oh damn, we gotta find some belly fat.
How do you tell the belly fat?
It's,
Oh, it's lighter.
yeah, it's lighter and it's a little thinner than fillets.
So that is the fat.
Yeah, this is the
That-
fat,
okay.
the belly fat, meat. It's just got more oil in it.
Uh-huh.
So you put a little bit of that in there and
Better take it out, but that big piece.
want to leave enough room so it seals. And the other real secret is 8 or 10 or, is that those little bits
I've
of,
seen somebody, maybe the washer where they put the.
and you don't worry about wasting vinegar. You can use as many of these as you need. And then just wipe off the top. Make sure there's, you can use your fingernail if you have to, but make sure there's nothing on there that'll keep that lid from sealing. Then when those get hot, put it on there, secure the lid. You don't have to crank down on it, but just make sure it's snug. And when I'm packing jars, I'll put ice in the cooler and just stack them up until you get a canner full and then start processing. But that's all there is to it.
Say that again.
Make sure one of these is down the bottom. It keeps the jars off the direct heat off the bottom. Maybe an inch of water, inch and a half.
Oh, that's all?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you submerged them.
No, that's for
A water bath.
water bath canning. You submerge them.
So this is pressure cooker. Pressure can.
Cooking, you have to keep the heat high to maintain the pressure. You get the pressure up to 11 to 13 psi. And then once the tuna cooks, you have to back off or it'll keep climbing. You back off until to maintain that pressure. It doesn't take as much heat once that tuna's cooked a little bit. So about an inch and a
So
half.
how do you know when it's cooked?
The temperature to keep it going.
Okay.
But you have to let them sit for an hour and a half, don't you, in the pot?
It's an hour.
100 minutes is what the videos
Well,
were
I
saying.
use 100. Yeah, I use 115 minutes. Yeah, 110 to 115 minutes is what it is.
So
hour and
At
55
10,
minutes.
at 10 to, I'll go 11 to 13 psi. I think it says 10 psi, but a couple more. It's going to vary that much anyway. So a row of jars in there, and they can't be too tight. There has to be a little room between the jars.
In between
One
each
row of
row.
jars, you set this on top, stack the next row of jars,
Oh, good. I'm glad you can.
and then we'll put the lid on the
On
weight.
an extra one.
Yeah, it helps to have a couple of those. You can stack the jars on top of the jars. It's not as critical as on the bottom, but, oops. No room here. So when you get jars packed, we'll come in and